Hello everybody, it's Gemma here from madebyGemmaCrafts.co.uk. Thank you for joining me again today. Now, in my previous tutorial I showed you how we made and put these cards together using the Eastern Beauty stamp set and the Eastern Medallions thinlit dies, along with the coordinating designer series paper that goes with the suite. Now, what I'm going to show you now is how to make a box to pop your note cards in. So let's pop these note cards out of the way for a moment, and I'm going to use the envelope punch board to make a box for these. And I've got my bits and bobs here, so I've got some bits to decorate the box when we've made it and put it together. Here I've got a square of Dapper Denim cardstock, which is 8 3/4 by 8 3/4. Now, to make these card boxes, like big envelope boxes, I got one hanging around that I can show you. Yep, so we're going to make a box very similar to this, just a different size. This is one of the ones that I was using when I made a technique tip video for the Crafty Cupcakes team, who I belong to, showing we all do bits and bobs to help each other out and show each other different things, so that's really cool. Anyway, digressing, so I'm going to make a box for my note cards now. To get your measurements for different sized ones of these boxes, there is a video tutorial on YouTube by France Martin. That's her name, I hope I've got it right. And she basically gives you the formula to make these boxes, and all different sized ones as well, so it's well worth a watch. Go and check that out. Obviously when you finish watching my video today, don't want you running away just yet. So for our one that I'm going to make today, as I said, I'm starting with a piece of cardstock that is 8 3/4 by 8 3/4. So we'll start. Now, my first punch is going to be at 3 1/8 of an inch, so you can just line that up on your punch board, and then you can punch and score, just taking care when you get to the bottom of your scoreboard, because obviously your cardstock is bigger, that you don't fly off the end and rip a hole. And then we're going to move it along to 4 1/8 of an inch, and then we're going to punch and score again. Then we're just going to go around like you would for making a regular flat envelope on all 4 sides, and we're going to line up, punch and score on both of our lines, like so. Obviously, again, taking care on this side not to rip or tear, damage our cardstock. There we go. The last one. There we go. Then we can turn our punch board around and round off our corners. There we go. So that's all our punching done on that, so we can move our scoreboard out of the way, go around and fold and burnish our lines. There we go. So we've got all our score lines that folded and burnished. Now we're going to take our paper snips and just snip up to this second score line, and do that on both sides on these little corners. I'm going to turn around and do the same. Okay, Okay, so now if we pop this down in front of you, this is going to be the top of our box. This is going to be the main bottom part, like so. So these little tabs here, just going to take a little notch out of them, because we're going to pop some adhesive on these and we're going to fold them back on themselves, so we've got a nice neat edge on the top of our box, rather than trying to cut them off and it going a bit wonky. We're just going to stick them back on themselves. I'm just going to use a little bit of my fuse, and we're just going to fold that down like so. So there you will see we've got a nice neat edge on the top of our box. Then these ones we're going to fold inwards. We're going to put some adhesive on this side, and then we're going to fold these up to make our box. So we're just going to bring our sides up to meet and then stick that in place. You can use whatever adhesive you like. I'm using the fuse today because it's so much faster. And I think it's great. I love it. I will say that. So we've got our box brought up together, and we're just going to fold these two sides in, and then our bottom flap's going to go up to make our top, like so. And what I normally do is I normally get something like an ink pad, normally about the right size, and I'll just pop that inside, so you can put some adhesive on these parts here, and then you can pop your box together and it'll hold its shape as you're sticking it down and getting it lined up nice and straight. There we go. So I'm going to pop that out of the way now, and there we go, we have our little box made and ready. So I'm going to get my cards. Now I've made this a bit bigger so there's enough room, as you can see, with all the embellishments and everything on there, so there's enough room to fit your cards in and 5 envelopes. I have no idea where my envelopes are right now, but I will pop them in there with it. So there we go, and what I'm going to do to decorate my box is I have cut out, this is one of the circles from the stitched framelit set. Cut that out in the lemon lime twist. I've used some dapper denim to cut out another decorative die from the Eastern Medallion thinlits, and on this one I've used the little flower die to cut that out, and I've used some of the small stamps just to stamp it and make it look pretty. I've got a piece of designer series paper which measures 1.5 inches by 12 inches. We won't need the full 12-inch width, but I left it as the full width for now because we can just trim that down as we go, and we're just going to use this to make a belly band around our box to keep it closed. There we go. I would normally use some magnets as a closure on this, but as you can probably guess, I've run out again. So we can just fold this round, and don't make it too tight because you obviously need to be able to get it on and off, and you can just check whether that moves. I mean, I'm going to leave mine as the full length for now. I'm not going to cut into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of fuse on this end here, and then again on this end here, and then carefully and gently just fold this round. Ooh, I don't want to do it too tight. There we go. Oh, making sure it's straight. Got a real problem with straight today. All wonky. There we go. Right, so there's our belly band, and you can see it's not too tight. And it's nice because you don't need to pre-score the designer series paper because it just folds so nicely around the edges, and you can just use your fingers just to sharpen that slightly. I mean, if you're going to start scoring it, there's a risk you put your score tool through it, so sometimes it's best the gentle approach. It still looks just as nice. So So now we can layer up our little topper embellishment that we've made. So I'm just going to use a bit of fuse to stick this one down. Then I'll put a couple of dimensionals on the back of here. Like so, and then pop that on the centre. I mean, I've kept this pretty simple because I think sometimes simple is the best. Everyone does like elaborate designs and whatnot, but sometimes simplicity is the way to go. And then we can just put a bit of fuse, just run a piece down the centre of your circle. And obviously I've got mine running from left to right or right to left, whatever way you want to say it. So then I can then pop that on the middle there of my belly band, and I've got my little box of cards ready to go. It makes a nice little gift for someone. There we go, and you can use this to put anything in, really, these boxes, and you can make them in all different sizes. As I said, go and check out France Martin's video. I really can't remember what it's called, but she shows you how to make them in all different sizes, and she gives you the secret formula, so to speak, on how to resize and how to use the sizes on your scoreboard, on your envelope punch board to get them. So there we go, there is our box of cards ready. Now, as always, I will put all the information about everything I've used today and my measurements, so on and so forth, on my blog, and a link to that will be in the description box as well. There'll also be a link to my online shop for Stampin'Up, so click the link, take a look, have a shop, and that's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, bye.